Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your post-match reaction. Man United won, Chelsea won. I'm so upset, man. I'm so angry. I'm so upset. I'm so frustrated. You know what we learned? You know what we learned in this game? We learned that there's a lot of imposters in this A team. There's a lot of B team players in this A team. That's what I've learned. I don't think our strategy was wrong. I don't think Enzo Maresca is the problem in this particular game. I don't think he was, to be honest, I don't think too many times this season Enzo Maresca has been the problem at all. Enzo Maresca, if anything, like I was okay with the starting lineup. I was okay with how we were set up. The problem is some of these players cannot execute that plan. That Man United team is not any different. Let's make it clear. It's not like all of a sudden Eric Ten Hag's gone, that Man United team is different. No, they're not. They were there to be beaten. They were just looking at when we are having mistakes that they can pounce on. It's not like the Man United game took the game to us. Yeah, they had good chances. I'm not going to deny that. They had good chances. But that's off the back of us causing the problem, unforced errors from us. Us making a poor pass, which then they pounce on, and then it opens up the gate. The way we conceded, that's not them forcing the play on us. That's our mistake. Wesley Fofana should be clearing that header. He's incapable, which then puts Robert Sanchez in immense pressure, which leads to the penalty. I had every faith that we were going to come back and, in fact, even win. I'm just upset that we couldn't do the job. We had chances. Enzo Fernandez had a really good chance at 1-1. Open goal. He fluffed it. Now you can sit there and go, well, you know, we didn't really throw the kitchen sink at them. Well, they didn't really allow us to do that as well. We have to understand. I expected Man United to really press and come, you know, strong, intense energy and really push us up front. But they were a little bit conservative as well. They played kind of like Liverpool, where they just didn't want to commit. This is why a lot of the times we had the ball in the back and we were enticing them to come forward. They didn't want to commit fully. They were waiting for the opportunities to pounce on. They're a lot smarter than previously. But we still could have done better. A lot of our players didn't show up, and this is what the issue is for me. For me, ladies and gentlemen, what I learned today is a lot of our players didn't show up, and it all starts from first half. Malo Gusto, number one royal stinker. The amount of times Malo Gusto was getting into positions to cross, overlapping, crossing. People need to understand. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't like Malo Gusto doing that inverted stuff. He was, to be honest, he probably barely inverted too much. He was playing that number 8, number 10 role. He was in the half spaces. This is what Maresca said. Go watch that game. He was barely inverting and being in midfield. He was overlapping. The amount of times he overlapped and Madueke put him through, he can't seem to find the pass. The problem with Malo Gusto isn't the fact that he's not able to understand the tactical side of that role, because he understands the tactical side of the role. The problem with Malo Gusto is he's unable to execute with the ball at the moment. He's unable to make the pass correctly. The amount of times Madueke was clean and he can't seem to find that pass. Malo Gusto, look, if that's how we're going to set up at times against teams, because we're not always going to set up like that, but if that's one of our ways to set up, Malo Gusto off the ball becomes a right back. On the ball, he becomes 8, 10, everything else. We have to find a solution, because this guy on the ball right now, he's not giving us that, you know, that impetus. Who else can do that? I don't know. This is why Reece James starts from the LCB position. A lot of people are like, what? Maresca's overthinking. Maresca's not overthinking. Maresca's doing what is the strengths of each player. If Reece James plays as an RCB, then it forces Wesley Fofana to play as an CCB that we saw in the second half, Cucurella coming on. The one thing I like about Maresca, at least he hooks players off. He hooked off Malo Gusto because he was dropping a stinker on the ball. But what it did is Malo Gusto was off. Reece James then became RCB. That created a second issue. Wesley Fofana CCB. I told you guys, Wesley Fofana as a CCB is an issue. All the things I said in the preview. Malo Gusto, he's got to have a good game. He didn't. Wesley Fofana, we can't have him as a CCB. He's better on the RCB position because he can utilize his pace. As a CCB, the guy's awareness is poor. Even as an RCB, sometimes his awareness is poor. How he has the cross just drift over his head as a CCB is disgusting. This is why Levi Colwill plays in the middle. And this is why Reece James plays on the LCB position, because Reece James, the captain, he needs to play. A lot of people may say, well, we can't. We need Cucurella back. If you want Cucurella back and you want Cucurella to invert and you also want Reece James to start, then it's going to be like this, where Wesley, unless you drop Wesley Fofana. You put Levi Colwill in the middle and you put Badiashile as LCB. Putting Cucurella as LCB and still having Malo Gusto ain't going to change anything, because Malo Gusto is going to continue doing what he has been doing, which is poor on the ball. Malo Gusto stinker. Wesley Fofana stinker. These two players, honestly, at the moment, they're auditioning for the B team. That's what I've realized. I've realized there's a lot of imposters in the A team. I'm sorry to say it is an A and a B team, because there are certain players that are starting in the Premier League and there are certain players that are starting in the Conference League or the Cup matches. There is a distinct difference between the personnel. Madueke, another one. A lot of people might complain, why does Madueke keep starting? The issue is Enzo Maresca doesn't trust the other players. Enzo Maresca doesn't trust Felix and Nkunku. Both of them didn't even come on, I don't think. I'm pretty certain both Nkunku and Felix didn't even come on. Doesn't trust them. I'm pretty sure. Let me have a look. I'm pretty certain both Felix and Nkunku didn't even come on. Yeah, we only made 3 subs. Yeah. It doesn't trust them. People can sit there and complain, why doesn't Nkunku and Felix play? I think the real question is, are they good enough to play? Can they work hard off the ball? It's not good to just come on and be a spectator. João Felix and Nkunku are spectators. You have to work hard. The problem is, when in these sort of matches, when some of your players that generally work hard, but don't have the quality to perform, like Madueke, we don't have someone who can come in. I need wingers in the ilk of Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto is the only one that has dropped a proper game today. Everyone else, even Jackson. Jackson was a ghost. We didn't see the same Nicholas Jackson like we saw against Newcastle, turning the defenders. Jackson was poor. Cole Palmer went missing. I'm sorry. I mean, these big games keep piling on Cole Palmer where he's not showing up, which is sad. I expected Cole Palmer to be so much better, but he wasn't. Up front, only Pedro Neto showed up. Midfield first half, we were on lock. Caicedo and Romeo Lavia were brilliant. Man United didn't do anything in our midfield. Caicedo, by the way, man of the match for me. 150 million midfielder. I said it. That goal he scored, thank you so much. I'm upset we didn't even win, because this Man United team is rubbish. But it also proved to us that our team, proved to me as well, that our A team is not as good as I think, or some of you may think. Some of these players deserve to be in the B team. But the problem is the B team squad is too big. No one from the B team is actually knocking on the door to crack into the A team. That's the problem. A lot of people are asking questions about recruitment. Yeah, this is something that we need to look at. Look at all the players that we bought in the summer for Enzo Maresca. None of them have any impact. Renato Veiga, not good enough at the moment. Still has a lot of development to do. That's a player that we bought in the summer. Keenan Dewsbury Hall can't even make it to the squad. Tosin, not good enough to start. Who else did we get? Mark Gui, not in the squad. Who else did we get in the summer? I'm just trying to think. Sancho, ill. Tactically also, Maresca has said not good enough. Needs to work hard. Pedro Neto is the only one in the summer that we purchased has really clicked. João Felix, another one, not good enough. So all of these players that we got recruited for Enzo Maresca in the summer, they don't have any impact. They don't have any impact. They're at best good in the cup competitions and even against top quality cup teams domestically in the likes of Newcastle, we can't play. Conference League, yeah, they seem to be monsters. Mudryk came off the bench. Once again, no impact. Mudryk's best impact was lucky he didn't touch that shot off Caicedo. Lucky. A lot of people say, oh, Mudryk should get an opportunity. Mudryk's been so good. This is why I say, just calm down, man. Just calm down. None of these guys are that great. No impact. Sometimes jogs. Doesn't hustle enough to win the ball back. Look at Pedro Neto. Look at the amount of hustling Pedro Neto did. The way he runs back, gets the ball, runs up again. Which winger does that? Madueke probably comes the closest, but Madueke has no final third delivery. No final third delivery. Enzo Fernandez comes on. One great opportunity to go 2-1 up at 1-1. Enzo Fernandez fluffs that shot when there was no goalkeeper there. And Cucurella had to come on because Malo Gusto was dropping stinker, an absolute stinker. I'm just upset that we couldn't beat this Man United team, man. A team that is 14th. We couldn't beat them. They were there to be beaten. It just says a lot about our players. There's only a handful of players that deserve to be in that A-team conversation. And when they falter, we have depth. Yes, we have depth, but I have quality depth. That's a concern. It's a huge concern. That's what I learned from this game. Top 4 is going to be so difficult for us. Not even funny. We've got Arsenal coming up. I can't have the same level of chest against Arsenal. The chest against Man United was warranted. It was warranted. Man United didn't do anything supremely great. No, they didn't. Yeah, they missed chances. Of course they did. But it's not like they played scintillating football. They blew us out of our element. No. We look good when we build up. We can beat press. Our problem is we're not good in the final third. That right side of Madueke, Gusto, and Wesley Fofana in the first half. Oh my God, that stunk up the place. We can have Reece James come back on the right side, but then we have a mess in the CCB, in the centre back positions. We play 3 in the back. Reece James can't do what Malo Gusto was doing, run up and down. Reece James will get injured again. Now you can say, well, if we can't accommodate Reece James, let's not babysit him. I get that. I understand that. But Reece James wasn't the problem. Reece James played good. Very, very disappointing, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what we can do against Arsenal. As I said, I don't think any of this is really Enzo Maresca's fault. If anything, I think Enzo Maresca, he's a smart manager, man. He's a very smart manager. Set us up nicely. It's up to the players to execute. And if they can't execute, then I'm sorry. What can we do? What can we do? And the other problem is the B team squad is too big and no one in the B team is knocking on the door to crack into the A team. That's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Learned a lot about players today, certain players, and that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Just very upset, annoyed, angry. This nonsense Man United team, we can't even beat them. Draw's just not good enough. Let me know your thoughts. Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya.